I'm proud of myself. Like, obviously if you don't focus on your goals, you're not going to achieve them. Hello, welcome to my video. I am going to talk to you about my New Year's resolutions that I had for 2022 and then come up with some for 2023. I've always made resolutions, but I like make them at the beginning of the year and then don't think about them at all. I don't even usually look back at them at the end of the year. But I thought I have them all on my phone this year, so it's easy to like find them and look back at them. And yeah, I guess resolutions, you're not really supposed to just make them and then not think about them for the rest of the year, but it is what I tend to do. But I feel like it just like sets my mindset for the year. And the resolutions I remember making last year I think were good, that I like, you have to make them achievable, and I think I did that. We'll see. First I have to find the note. I was also already thinking of, oh, I'll make this my resolution for next year, and when I'll be making this video on the spot I will forget things. So 2022 resolutions. Oh, my list is very short and I've already ticked something, so I must have I edited this on the 15th of April, so like midway through the year. April's the 4th month, isn't it? So I was already feeling successful, obviously. So the first one that I've got ticked is read some good books. I would definitely say I've accomplished that, as I read such a good book. I finished yesterday. I think the best book I've ever read. I want to reread it now, and I think I read the first book in the series at the beginning of the year. I want to see, marked that as done in April, what books had I read in the first 4 months of the year that made me go, yes, I have accomplished read some good books. I also hit my reading goal, which was 40 books for the year, and I think I've now read 41, so that's pretty good. Apparently I've read 42 out of 40. The last book I read was very skim read, so that doesn't really count. What books did I read at the beginning of this year? Okay, so I reread Carry On, the Simon Snow trilogy, so that is a good book. And then I read Once Upon a Broken Heart, which is the first book in the series I was talking about before. Brilliant, amazing, better than the movies. That's a good book. The rest of these are kind of average. I don't remember Shift. This was bad. Okay, that's what I said. Made me want to puke apparently. Okay, don't read that book. I don't know why I gave it 2 stars then. I reviewed The Hearts We Sold. Good book. See all your activity on 8 months ago. That's not helpful, just tell me the date. Oh, that was in April. Okay. I mean, I kind of stopped reading, probably then. I kind of stopped reading like mid-year and then got back into it. So yeah, really good books this year. Some like really good, and other ones like just average. I could make a whole video about books, but I don't have like well-rounded thoughts, as you can tell from me writing good book in a review that I wrote. Okay, next resolution that I made. Get tattoos. Definitely accomplished that. I got this one, that one, and this one. Oh, and this one. So literally, I think I have 13 now, last I remember counting, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I almost doubled the amount of tattoos I had this year. So that is 100% ticked off, get tattoos. And then the next one was make a change at work for the better, which I 100% accomplished that, because a year ago I had a completely different job and I was not vibing with it. I was not having a good time. I did not like being at work. It feels like a lifetime ago, really. I mean, it's coming up a year since I changed jobs, because I officially transitioned in like March, and my life is completely different now because of that. It's like, I guess that sounds really dramatic, but you spend all your life at work. Like, I work 4 days a week, so that's half my week is spent at work, so it really does change your whole perspective on things when that's what you're doing all the time. And for the better, 100%. I really like my job. I mean, I don't like having to have a job. I would rather Jonathan and I were talking about this yesterday, like how great it would be to just be unemployed and do whatever you wanted all day. Unfortunately, can't do that. So if I had to do anything, like if I had to do something, I'm happy for it to be what my job is. What, a year ago I would not have said that, and I was like looking at listings online about different jobs while I was at work. So The next thing I have ticked already in April was take more photos of myself. I had already ticked this. Looking back at photos, I'm already thinking kind of half accomplished this. I have taken more photos of myself. This sounds like kind of like a vain resolution, but I think it's really important to take photos of yourself and be able to look back at them. Like when I'm 50, I want to know what I looked like when I was 24, and I want to know what I was doing, and you know. So I think I've half accomplished this because I've taken a shit ton of photos of myself related to the gym. I have a whole Instagram dedicated to posting a photo after every workout with my thoughts about my workout, because no one cares about my thoughts, so I can't tell anyone. But if I just put it on Instagram, then it's like you know, that's a place to put them, and also a place to put the photos. And then you look back at the photos and you're like, wow, that's what I looked like 5 months ago, and you critique yourself so much, but then when you have that photo and you look back at it and you're like, oh, it was fine, like I was good. I think it just reminds you to be kinder to yourself, and yeah. So I accomplished that aspect, but I don't have my face anywhere. Like my phone is always over my face, and I want to have more photos of myself with my face so I know what my face looks like in 50 years. So I would say that's accomplished, but more needs more work in the next year of taking more photos of myself. The last resolution, because I only have 5, which I think is good. In past years, I remember I had a diary and I would write out pages of resolutions. They were all vague and unattainable, like be a nicer person and stop being mean and blah blah blah, like things that you can't concretely point at something and be like, I achieved that. And also when there's like 20 of them, you're not going to achieve that, whereas 5 things, I've achieved them. This last one was write something, anything. I have 100% achieved that, and it is thanks to my friend Zoe, because we have been meeting up fortnightly for months now. I mean, we've missed a couple times, like our last writing session was due on Christmas, so obviously we didn't do that, but we've been doing that for a couple months now. I'm not actually sure when we started. I'm going to try to see if I can find the first one in my calendar. That's crazy. The first one I have is June 19th, which is crazy because I didn't realise we've been doing it for half the year. But because of that, I have written so much more. I wouldn't say it's good. I wouldn't say I have a plot or I know what's happening, or that really anything is good, but I did it. I told myself write something, write anything, and I did it, and I am proud of myself for doing that. Something that didn't exist before exists now on my Google Doc. I'm proud of myself. I did all my goals that I made. I achieved them just by living my life and like prioritizing what was important to me. And then I made some weightlifting goals. They were all very optimistic, and I made them based off a calculator that said if you've been lifting for 1 or 2 years and you're female who's in her early 20s, how much should you be able to lift after that period of time? And that's what I made these goals based off. So I haven't achieved any of them. Also, my training this year got way better because I actually like made myself a program and stuck to it, because the year before I was like doing different exercises each session, whereas I think my strength has improved drastically. It's just not what I set these goals at. I said I wanted to squat 100 kgs. My squat is not my strongest lift. I really struggle with depth and how low is good enough, and then once I add more weight on, I just can't get that depth anymore. So I think I've done around 90 kgs, but was my depth there? Probably not, so then it doesn't really count. My working sets are more around 60 to 80, with my depth obviously being better at 60. Maybe one day I'll get there, but it didn't happen in 2022, which is okay. I said I wanted my bench to be 70 kgs. I don't know where I got that number from. Well, actually I do. I just explained where I got that number from, but that's not possible. I don't prioritize benching. So how would that happen? I think my bench, before I stopped doing it because Jonathan stopped going to the gym with me, and bench isn't really a priority for me, which is a very typical girl thing for me to say, but I think I was benching around 40 to 45 kgs for multiple reps. So my one rep max is probably a lot higher than that, but I never tested it. And I'm happy with that. I mean, I should compare what I was doing at the beginning of the year. I just have a big Google Sheets that I write all my weights in so that I remember. Okay, at the beginning of 2022, I was doing 30 kgs. And then the last time I benched was in November, up to 45 kgs. So that means I added 15 kgs to my bench press, not really focusing on it. I think I was doing it consistently for a little while, like around, it looks like June to September. But overall it's not a priority to me, and I added 15 kgs, so that's pretty good. And then my squat won't be a good reflection because my depth sucks so much, and I would, it's all mindset kind of stuff with your squat. The 13th of January 2022 I was doing 60 to 65 kgs. So what you know there is that it hasn't really changed, but my form probably got better. This is why I need to take more videos of myself at the gym, because if I could see a video of myself doing that same weight, it would probably look a lot different. And once I focused more on depth, the weight went down a lot further, so it's kind of hard to judge my squat. And then deadlift, I set my goal as 120. Even though I had never really focused on deadlifting before. I did PB last week. It's been hard to keep track of time because I haven't gone to the gym for a week because I didn't want to, it's Christmas. But I did PB 110 kgs, which is pretty fucking good. Like, that's crazy. And I did it for 2 reps twice. And the beginning of last year, I was scared of deadlifting. Like, really scared. Okay, beginning of 2022, I was deadlifting 85 kgs. 25 kgs difference. It doesn't sound like that much, but the feeling between 80 kgs and 110 kgs is a lot. And at the beginning of the year, I was still scared of it. You can see I got 100 kgs in April, and I stayed at that for a while. Like, I'm doing 102 kgs in September, and then 105 kgs in October, and then last week I did 110 on the 23rd of December. So I would say I would still call it a success, even though it's not 120. Like, I'm way closer to it than I was before. And then my next goal was 1 pull-up, and that hasn't happened yet, but I have gotten a chin up, and I only started focusing on that a month ago. Like, obviously if you don't focus on your goals, you're not going to achieve them. I wasn't focusing on pull-ups, so obviously I can't do one yet, but I started focusing on doing them, and chin-ups are easier for some reason. I don't really know why. Must be something about the muscles you use while you do it. But I did a chin up, so I would say it's kind of success, and I will get that pull up. If I keep focusing on my pull up negatives and like scapular shrugs, then it's going to happen. I said I wanted to shoulder press 20 kgs per side. I am currently at 14 kgs per side, and I tried picking up the 16s and I couldn't get them up. I was talking to a guy at the gym, and he said that he thought I looked really strong, and if I had a spotter I could lift more, especially shoulder press. You're kind of like, you know, shoving something above your head. On the 18th of January 2022 I was doing 12 kgs per side, so I've gone from 12 to 14, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I think my definition, this isn't really the shirt to show you, I think my shoulder definition has like gone insane this year. And even on Christmas I was wearing a short sleeve shirt, and my dad asked me how much I could bench press because I look so strong. So although like mathematically only added 2 kgs to my, I guess it's 4 because it's per side, right? So it's technically 4, but like my shoulder definition, I don't know if you can see, it has like popped off. So I'd say that was a success, even though I didn't hit the number. Now we have 2023 resolutions. It is terrifying that it's almost 2023. My brother is born in the year 2000, and it's really odd to me, like every year I'm like, fuck, and he's turning 23 now. Like, I am 23, aren't I? But I'm not. I was thinking of some things before. I want to save up money. I'm usually pretty good at that. Like, I've never made this goal before because I already like have money that I'm continuously saving, but I kind of went nuts this year spending money. don't feel like I need to set a number on there. I think looking back at it in a year, I can just look at my bank account and be like, yeah, I did that. Or I could put in the current number I have in my note so that I can compare. And that'll be a good way to say, yeah, I did that. I'm so bad at maths, I hate this. And my next goal, I was thinking of, go to the gym. Oh no, that's not what I want to say. I want to say strength train 4 times. Maybe I should make this its own section and make a separate section called gym goals. Strength train 4 times a week, cardio once a week, which I've never focused on before, but recently I just had the idea that I should do that, and once a week seems achievable. Okay, I'm mind blanking. I had all these ideas. Oh, I want to continue making YouTube videos and posting regularly. Keep writing, keep reading good books. I feel like a lot of this is just like keeping consistent with what I'm already doing. I want to have something about overthinking things less, but also I don't think overthinking is something that I can control. Maybe that's short-sighted of me, but I don't feel like I can control it. I just go to bed at night and my brain's like, what do we think about? What can we think about? What can we worry about? I don't know how to fix that or change that, or maybe I'm just like a pussy who's not willing to work hard enough to change that. I don't know. I want to just shift my mindset around it slightly. I don't know how to describe that. Like shift my mindset about, I just worry about what I say a lot. Like I worry about being stupid all the time. Okay, I'm gonna say, remember, no one thinks about what you say. Someone I watch on YouTube said she reminds herself that she can't remember anything stupid, or no, anything embarrassing that her best friend has ever done, which I think can be a good reminder. Can you remember anything embarrassing your best friend's ever done? No. So why would anyone remember something embarrassing I've done? No one thinks about what you say, / no one remembers embarrassing things you've done. I want to build confidence in my work. I worry that I don't really know. I go through waves of being like, I'm really good at my job, and then other times being like, I'm not good at my job. So I just want to build confidence and be able to say, yes, I am good at my job and I know what I'm doing, and I don't think anyone else could do it as good as me. Whereas I think a lot of the time, oh, anyone could do my job. But I want to feel like I am doing it to the best of anyone's ability, but also not being so emotionally attached with that. I'm like, no one else should work with this person apart from me because I'm the best. Like, I don't want to feel like that. And find balance. I think that's important. Okay, this list is kind of getting too long. I feel like it was achievable last year because I only had 5. I'm going to say build confidence in my work and find balance, because like balance in having boundaries with people and balance in caring about people but not caring too much, because it's my job and anyone could do it, but it's me. I don't know if that makes sense. Take more photos of myself face. I'm gonna say. And what was it? I want to take more videos of myself at the gym just to see my progress lifting, because I feel like it's way more fun in videos than it is numbers in a spreadsheet, although I still think it's good to track progress that way as well. But I think taking more videos of myself at the gym is a good goal to have. Oh, obviously I want to get more tattoos. Obviously, can't go all year not getting tattoos. I feel like looking at this list, everything is attainable except for remembering no one thinks about what you say / no one remembers embarrassing things you've done, because I can just see myself looking back and then being like, well, I didn't do that, did I? I feel like that's everything. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 general resolutions, whereas I only had 5 last year, and 3 gym related goals, which isn't putting numbers to it. I don't think I want to put numbers to anything this year apart from 1 pull-up, because I haven't done that yet and I think I will achieve that. But otherwise I don't want to put numbers on it, because I didn't achieve any of the numbers on last year. Well, it's the last day of the year, this year. But that doesn't mean that I didn't succeed. I'd say it's a successful list. I don't know, I'll see if I think of anything else. I liked that last year's was short, so I don't want to add lots of stuff to it, because that just makes it harder to achieve and my goals will become more vague. That is it. That's my resolutions from last year discussed. I did well. It was a good year, I think. I mean, especially based off how well I achieved everything that I wanted to a year ago. Overall, I think it was a good year. Time passes so quickly and so slowly at the same time. But I think it was a good year. My memory is also terrible, so I hope this next year is as good as the last 365 days have been. I'm gonna be 26 this time next year. That's gross. Maybe I have one more goal. I want to go on holiday, in brackets Australia, which will all be dependent on. I was talking for too long and my camera stopped recording. I was saying going to Australia is all dependent on Jonathan's dad taking us or inviting us there. Another one I just thought of, I want to dye my hair in a cool colour again. At the beginning of last year I had green hair and I want my green hair back. I was going to do it these holidays, so hopefully I'll do it in the next week. My problem with that is that I am going grey, so it's like, how do I dye this one colour and bleach my ends the other colour? Like, it's just too complicated for me. But I also don't want to pay a hairdresser for that because that's really expensive and I just want to do it myself. But hopefully I will do that. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you like listening to me talk. I will see you in the next one. Make sure you push the like button. I'm watching you. Push it. Click the like button. The one that looks like this. Not the one that looks like that. That one's illegal. Only this one. Thank you for watching. See you next year.